Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. My name is Evan and this is Sense or Sense. And today I'm getting very serious about what's going on Wall Street. Wall Street is throwing everything out. Just like the old saying goes, they're throwing everything out with the baby in the bathwater. That's happening right now. Anything that's AI or tech related is being tossed. There is a rotation going on in the market where a lot of large cap stocks are being transitioned into small cap stocks and into value. But this is not the reason why we're seeing a massive sell-off in companies like AMD. And that's the company I want to focus on today. I've been a big proponent of AMD for a long time. I started using AMD chips well over 30 years ago. And I just always felt like they were superior. And, you know, they have a wonderful CEO, Lisa Su, and she is running this company and doing a fantastic job and over delivering on, you know, results every single quarter. She's projecting everything going forward, and this is what's wrong with Wall Street nowadays. This is kind of going to be a little bit of a rant, but I want to get this out there, and I want you to understand as investors in this market why this is so frustrating. The market has obviously been way up in the last year or so due to the AI expectations and things like that. I understand that some of those expectations are being rewritten. I understand that some of these companies are saying, whoa, back up a second, we're having problems in the economy, we're not going to be shipping as many chips and things like that. That is not the case with AMD, and it's not the case with Google, actually, that reported yesterday as well. As of this recording, it is February 5th, 2026. AMD reported 2 days ago. They blew their numbers out of the water, and yet the stock is down $30 a share or thereabouts. You know, well over almost 20% actually, and they're down. Actually, they were down 17% yesterday alone. And I want to go into this a little bit more. So I'm going to go on to one of the articles that I read pretty regularly on Yahoo Finance. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about why I think this is so ridiculous. So, Advanced Micro Devices, AMD, delivered record-breaking financial results for the fourth quarter and full year of 2025, significantly exceeding Wall Street expectations. By the way, the title of this article is AMD crushes fourth quarter earnings expectations. The chipmaker posted fourth quarter revenue of $10.3 billion ahead of the analyst estimates of $9.65 billion and a substantial increase from the $7.7 billion reported in the year ago quarter. So they're absolutely doing everything that they've been planning on doing for well over a year. They came out, they crushed their numbers. They've guided, they've said that, you know, they're growing massively year over year. That doesn't seem to matter at all to Wall Street right now. On a non-GAAP basis, the company achieved a record quarter operating income of $2.9 billion and a record diluted earnings per share of $1.53, outperforming the projected $1.32. So Wall Street was expecting $1.32 for the quarter. They reported $1.53, and yet what do? They're punishing the stock along with every other AI stock out there. The company's performance was bolstered by a record $5.4 billion in data center segment revenue, a 39% increase year over year, driven by strong demand. The client business also reached a record $3.1 billion in revenue, up 34% from the previous year, behind demand for Ryzen processors. Gaming revenue rose 50% to $843 million, while the embedded segment reported $960.7 million. For the full year, AMD delivered $34.6 billion in total revenue and non-GAAP earnings per share of $4.17. And this is a quote from AMD's CEO, Dr. Lisa Su. 2025 was a defining year for AMD, with record revenue and earnings driven by strong execution and broad-based demand for our high performance and AI platforms. We are entering 2026 with strong momentum across our business, led by accelerating adoption of our high-performance EPYC and Ryzen CPUs and the rapid scaling of our data center AI franchise. Looking ahead to the first quarter of 2026, AMD expects revenue of approximately $9.8 billion, above Wall Street estimates of $9.33 billion. This guidance represents a 32% year-over-year growth at the midpoint and includes roughly $100 million in sales of Instinct MI308 accelerators to China. The company anticipates a non-GAAP gross margin, are you ready for this? 55% for the upcoming quarter. I don't get it, guys. Wall Street is absolutely throwing this stock as well as Google and a bunch of other stocks out with the bathwater, and there's no reason for any of this. They have some issues on Wall Street right now that just aren't being explained. Let me tell you guys, if you guys are long-term investors, I don't know how to tell you this, but you need to ignore a lot of what's happening right now in the markets. Essentially, because a lot of the stocks and everything like that have been up so tremendously in the last couple of years, they're just they're deflating them all. And unfortunately, companies like AMD and Google get thrown out with everybody else, even though how could they have possibly reported better numbers, better information, better sales forecast? They literally beat on their revenue, they beat on their earnings, they destroyed all their segments were up 30+% pretty much, and they're projecting better revenue for 2026 than analysts are saying, and yet the stock's down, say, close to 20% in the last couple of days. So I don't get it. I will tell you this though, as a long-term investor, I'm looking to add more. Usually when this kind of stuff happens, you might have to wait, a couple of months for everything to clear out and give yourself a little bit of time to, essentially for the market to kind of find a bottom. And I think we're going to be doing that very shortly. And, a lot of these stocks had run quite a bit, and I understand why they're down some, but they should not be being punished 20, 30, 40% down for companies that are reporting stellar earnings for this quarter. So I just wanted to come and tell you guys that you should not be paying attention to what Wall Street is doing to these stocks. In fact, counterintuitively, you should be buying more of these stocks, in my opinion, if you have a 5-year time horizon. I just don't think there's any way that you can lose at this point with such a huge down draw. Yes, in the short term, say a couple of months out to a year, we might see these stocks stumble more, or it might even fall considerably more. But in my opinion, these companies are just growing too quickly and have too many things going for them in order for them just to say, we're not going to be worth that anymore. And Wall Street just doesn't evaluate each particular company, in my opinion, when stuff like this happens. They just throw everybody out and look at the overall market and say tech is overvalued, AI is overvalued, the bubble's bursting, all these different things. They're equating this to essentially what 1999 and 2000 were for a lot of those tech companies. And I'm here to say that is not the case here. A lot of those companies in 1999 and 2000, the reason why they got shot up so quickly was pure speculation. They didn't have significant earnings. They didn't have pipelines. They didn't have growth like these companies do now. I'm not talking about the certain AI companies that are little tiny micro companies. I'm talking about big companies, Google, Microsoft, AMD, Intel, things like that. Please do not let these Wall Street gamblers, as I'll call them, analysts, things like that, convince you that the long-term prospects of these companies are significantly worse than they were just a couple months ago. Hold the course, guys. That's what I wanted to bring you today. Maybe even buy more as it comes down even further. So I appreciate you tuning in and listening to my bit of a rant today, but I wanted that to get out there. I've been trading for a very, very long time, and I wanted everybody to understand, this is not something that is catastrophic to long-term gains. So if you like this video, please like, share, and comment below. Hit the notification bell, and I will see you next time. Thank you.